What's good, Wolfpack Gang? It's your girl Mikki checking in, guys. And today, oh my gosh, guys, we are continuing our celebration of growing business owners. And I am just super excited. I have received a lot of love from all of my Wolfpack out there and all the many business owners who have reached out to me and came on to the den. So thank you all so much. But today, we are joined with Miss Joy, and she is doing a lot of amazing things. So I am going to hand it right over to her and let her tell you about who she is and what it is that she has going on and what services she's offering, because there's a lot and they're great.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you everyone for listening and for being here. I appreciate your time. My name is Joy Harris, and I'm of Joyful Connections Life Coaching, and I'm an empowerment life coach where I help people who have trouble using and finding their voice and using it effectively. I help people who feel unseen and unheard, and where people who are not thriving in their lives anymore, and they feel like their lives are stuck and stagnant, and also they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I help those people. I help men and women, and I help teens also, like girls or boys who are going through that awkward stage where they're kind of learning to find themselves and where they get to a point where they start not liking things about themselves. So I help them also. But in my practice, I help people set boundaries, healthy boundaries, and I help people learn to be comfortable in their vulnerability and to share their story. Just be comfortable with their story and own their story. And I help people to show up for themselves when they're used to just kind of staying back and just not going forward and moving in their power and everything. So what I do is just give them the confidence and self-esteem to help them to do that. I help them develop tools that they can use in their own life, just far as problem solving, and just to give them the courage to know that they can do anything and just step out and just do it. And I help them being comfortable even saying the simple word of no. Some people can't do that, so I give them all those things and empower them with whether it's encouragement. We do tons of mirror work where they can just kind of look and get comfortable with themselves, and I have them say certain things over themselves, whatever per client what they will need. It kind of goes per client, and I kind of go off of what their story is or what their issue they're coming bringing to me, their coachable topic is, and then I go from there and I form questions and help them navigate and help them realize their full potential. I always have a thing with I tend to love people who feel like they are counted out, or they give up, or they feel like people have given up on them, and like they feel like they've made so many mistakes in their life that they can't thrive and make something beautiful out of their lives. Those are people I love to team up with. That's my tribe there, and I love to help them to realize that there's not over until it's over. As long as they have breath in their body, they still have an opportunity to be something wonderful because they already are. So I just help them realize that for themselves. That's what I do in my practice.
Yes, oh my gosh, I love that. And there were so many things that you touched on. I'm like, remember.
Yeah, I was
But
trying to give you a lot.
yes, no, I love that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is a pretty, heavy service to offer, because sometimes, as much as we would like to leave work and business where it is, sometimes that carries over. So, what kind of made you want to get into offering those services? Because it's a pretty heavy service to offer.
I love it because a lot of the services that I offer is things that I've personally been through. And and also I've had a background in being a hairstylist. So I'm in the people business. So I was a hairstylist for 30 years, but I had to retire due to my back. So this is not a new journey, but it's something a calling I've been avoiding. So when I have to retire from doing hair, it kind of forced me to do it, which I'm so glad, because it's such a rewarding job, like a second act of what I used to do. Because I also love to make people beautiful on the outside, but now I have this deep need and want to make people feel beautiful and be beautiful on the inside, and that exudes out and makes an overall beautiful human being. So that's why it would make me want to do it, just to make people better and to get them through things, help them navigate their way through things that I've already been through, or things, just show them that you can go through things and they have a witness just with their own eyes to see that someone came through it. And I just like to reach back and help their brother or sister to come through it also, just navigate their way. And I'm still going through things myself. It's not, you don't have a perfect life when you're a life coach. That's what makes you be able to be a good life coach, because you're coming from an authentic place and a place of, it's familiar, you know?
Oh my gosh, I love that you
So,
just said that, because so many
yeah.
people feel like if they get some sort of life coaching or therapy, that person that they're receiving that service just has it all together. Like it's just,
No,
perfect. And it's like, no,
no.
But
Mm-mm.
I am, as a coach, you are working towards every day of making
Exactly.
yourself better and getting your inside just as healthy as we always want our outside to appear to
Exactly.
everyone. And I love that because it
Exactly.
shows, like you said, it shows that relatability. Like, no, I'm just like you.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is I am aware of the tools that are going to help me overcome it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I can show them some of the things that I went through. Like I've been through divorce, so I can relate to that issue. I can help someone through that. I lost a baby before. So it's just different things, you know. And then I grew up with our brothers, so I saw how men interact. So I really have a way with men. I have a lot of men that's been coming to my practice because a lot of them have some mother issues, or, they didn't have such a great relationship with their mom, or maybe some women in their life. And that also carries over into their, rest of their life. It spills over into relationships. It hinders relationships sometimes. So some men feel they need to have a woman coach because they need that nurturing that they didn't get at home, or get, and their moms passed away or something things. So I kind of help give them clarity on women things. So it just really is a great thing. It just depends on what that person needs. When you come to a coach, you're not being judged. You
Right.
just come there, and that person don't know you. You can be vulnerable. You can cry. You can do whatever. The guys can let their emotions show. They don't have to be big boy, don't cry. They don't have to be Superman when they come to my virtual business. They can just come as they are. And it's between us, me and them and God, and it's all confidential, everything.
Yes. I love that you mentioned that Superman because men have that Superman kind of thing and women have that Superwoman. And we
Mm-hmm.
feel like at every single point, we have to be on track. We have to be mentally sound. Even if we're not, we have to appear to be that way. And that is such a stressful state to put
Mm-hmm.
your mind in 24/7.
Mm-hmm. That's something I have to tackle quite a bit. What you just named is what we call imposter syndrome. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people who have that. They feel like, oh, let me turn on the light, happy face now for the world, and they go home, they're miserable, and they go home. You see people how they have commit suicide every day. You already see it, but they put on this front instead of just coming as they are and just saying, hey, things are not great right now. I'm not happy. Things are just not okay. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
point. That's what I do. I empower them to own their truth of that. Hey, things are not okay right now. And I show them that, well, it can be okay because we can devise a plan and strategies to help you be okay. But you come in as, hey, that's when they relinquish, like, I'm done with this imposter syndrome. I'm exhausted from it. I'm
Yeah.
not okay. My life ain't okay. I hate what I'm doing. I wake up with no purpose. So I help them try to navigate that just through curious questions and thought-provoking questions. Really, the client is in control. I'm just a guide.
I love that. I love how you give them control because sometimes in life, we have to go to work and it may not be a job that you love, but it pays your
Mm-hmm.
bills, right? Because them bills come, they don't care if
Exactly.
you like your job or not.
Exactly.
You may be a parent and let's just face it, kids, that's like a job. You have to learn that child, learn their
Exactly.
needs, their likes, and everything like that, learn their triggers. And sometimes we get so involved in our day to day that we just kind of go through the motions and we don't even recognize the fact that to a certain extent we have lost control. We're just
Mm-hmm.
we're just going. And
Yes.
I love the fact that when they come to you, you give them that control back because I can
Yes.
imagine how much of a shocker that may be for some people. Like, oh, she
You
asked
mean?
me.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I asked them because they haven't been. People have been in over. They've just been in autopilot so much. Like you said, with the kids and day-to-day duties, the
Mhm.
stressors of life. Maybe being a caregiver. So they haven't had it. They haven't had time to even think about, like, hey, what do I like? Where did I go? Where did I used to do? What happened to joy? I'm the mom and the wife or the girlfriend, but what happened to Joy or whoever's name? Diane or whoever. Charles, whoever, it's like you want to know, dang, how did I get lost in the shuffle? And I help them to kind of find out where did I get lost in the shuffle. Then I help them kind of lead the things we do. It's like it's going to lead them back to themselves, which is going to lead to inner joy, which is why I name my business Joyful Connection, because my name is Joy. And I always believe in just keeping that joy, no matter if you're not happy.
Yes.
Happy is happy, that's it. But joy is something that kind of lingers and lasts on the
Mhm.
inside. You don't want to lose your joy because that kind of makes you feel hopeless. But if you know that joy is in there, and when things get straight in your life, you'll be happy again. It leads to that. So that's what I like to get people connected back, reconnected back to their inner joy. because that's really important to me.
Oh my gosh, like that just like ugh me because seriously, I did, and it started off. We had a couple dollars, and you know how sometimes you be like, "Oh, I got a couple dollars, let me go spend it."
Mm-hmm.
Well, my husband was like, "The only stipulation is you have to spend it on yourself."
Oh my.
I could not figure out what I wanted. I'm like, I have $100, and I could not figure out what I want. I figured out stuff for him I could go buy. I
Mm-hmm.
had $3. I figured out stuff for all of them. I'm like, well, let me buy my mom some, like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, no, I said you.
Exactly.
You know how I sat on that $100 for almost 2 months before I really
Wow.
figured out what I wanted to do with it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Wow.
like, so at that point, I put myself on pause. I was like, babe, okay, I need you to cook dinner tonight. I need you to go pick the girls up. I'm not gonna do any orders for another week or so because I'm like that was for me. That was my what the hell kind of moment,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
And that's when I started doing my self care and self love videos on my channel because that was my moment of, okay, I have to get back to me. There is no
Mhm.
way I can't figure out what to do for myself with $100.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. And you have to do that. It's like, it's, but it also tells the person you are. It tells you're a very selfless person because most people think of themselves first. You know, there's a lot of selfish people, but people like you and me, how I am, I'm not selfish at all. And it's really hard. I'd rather do for other people than myself. But I also learned, just like your schedule you have, your calendar that you do all your business and your whiteboard and all that, you
Mhm.
need to put Mikki on there.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to put their own name on there somewhere. You got to pencil yourself into your own schedule
Yeah.
for your personal time. I don't care if it's to read a magazine. I don't care if it's to go take a half an hour nap. I don't care if it's to go put a headphones on and jam off of 2 songs and then go back to work. But that's going to help you keep replenished. And then you'll have more to pour out to all the people we pour out to in our lives. So you have to do it. It's very important.
Yes, I'm telling you, and it took me a while, and I really had to do that. So when I do those videos, and people are like, "Oh my God, like that, I felt that," or you touched me," or I get those separate messages from people. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with this because I'm not the only one, and I know you probably hear this a lot when we are going through things mentally. We seem to want to say it's just us, like we're the only people in the world that are going through that
Hmm.
situation.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's like we completely shut ourselves off because we're going through that. And we
Yes,
feel like we're the only one. But
that's right.
if we only speak up, we'll find that there are so many people going through the same thing.
Identical thing. And there's a lot of people who feel shame, or a lot of people really chastise themselves when they feel like they're a failure if they admit that something doesn't feel good or if they're overwhelmed. That's life. It's good to have a tribe of people or friends that you can go to say that because they'll help you take the load or maybe give you a good conversation, maybe pray with you, something that's going to help you feel, give you rejuvenation, or give you that extra push you need to get through the rest of that day to take care of your task. But we feel that's a superwoman thing or superman thing. We feel like, oh, I got it. I'm holding the world up by the pillars. I'm holding up. And then sometimes those pillars just have to come crashing down and someone else will pick it up. You have to keep yourself picked up. And that's okay to do. You have to give yourself permission.
Yes. Give yourself permission.
Give yourself permission.
That is very big because like I
Yes.
said, for me, oh, I had like, I had, like I said, I have 3 daughters and I have a husband. I'll have all their doctor's appointments on my calendar. I got, my deliveries for my business. I got all the new items I'm coming out with and when to post them and all this. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I didn't have a checkup. I didn't have a checkup though. Everyone else did, but I didn't. Everyone else went to the
Hmm.
dentist, but I didn't. So, like you said, it was that I was doing it for everyone else, and all of
Hmm.
their stuff was taken care of, but I wasn't doing it for myself. So I had to really, like you said, give myself permission to put me in the forefront.
Yep. Give yourself permission to be happy, whatever it is that you need to do. People give themselves a permission to go do your health care, your wellness checks. Give yourself permission to go have a latte if you want that, if that's what you do. Give yourself permission and give yourself grace. And when you don't get something done, a lot of women beat themselves up. They self-loathe and I didn't get the kitchen. Yeah, I didn't do that laundry. Okay, it'll be there tomorrow. If you're alive tomorrow, then do it tomorrow. Make that the first thing on your list to start off with. It's okay. We got to stop beating ourselves up because it doesn't do anything but tear us down. Nobody else is even doing that. Don't even have to tear us down. We do it for ourselves and to ourselves. So we have to get out of that and just kind of more of a not careless, but be like, you know what? Okay, I'm only human. I'm one person. I'm not a machine. I didn't get this done and I am tired. And it's okay to admit that because when you get run down and in a hospital, somebody's going to do it for you anyways.
Right.
Right?
That's
So
right.
then just give yourself permission, honey. Just always anybody, just give yourself permission to be what you need to be for yourself. It's okay. And if other people get mad because they don't have as much time with you or from you, that's not your problem. That is their problem. And they need to give themselves permission to do what they need to do so they don't have to rely on you so much so that you can do what you need to do for yourself to be what you need to be for everyone in your life.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. I'm
That's
telling
just
you,
how I
I'm
felt.
feeling this on like so many levels right now. Um,
Hmm.
but what I wanted to get into is I know there's a lot of people out here who have this knowledge, they have these skills, and maybe they're wanting to get into this business, right? But for some reason, they're kind of talking themselves out of it. What would be some tips that you would have for that person?
Hmm. I'm just at this stage of my life right now where I just feel like, and especially it started with the pandemic, how it just shows how critical things can be. And it
Mhm.
shows how our time is dwindling, as we speak, So I just wanted, and the time that we use and spend, and we just sit, when we sit and thinking and overthinking about things, we can be using that time to put some good things in motion, just stepping out on faith and just taking a leap and just praying about it and go for it. So it just go for it and just, what's going to disappoint you if you don't go for it, you won't know what it could have turned out to be. But if you go for something and you find out it's not for you or whatever, then at least
Mhm.
but just go for it and stuff and you'll do it and give because I was terrible at school. I thought I was well, I wouldn't say I was terrible at school, but I got terrible grades. So I wasn't interested in learning like other people learn. I'm
Mhm.
more of a hands-on and let me see it kind of learner. I'm
Right.
not good with the books and remembering the president and all that. That was not my thing. So
Mhm.
I got bad grades in school. So I really hindered myself for a long time because I used to want to be a therapist and I
Mhm.
used to want to be a dentist, but I
Mhm.
said, well, here I can do here, so I kind of not that I lowballed myself, but I didn't the confidence. I didn't think I could do it. But then, as in my age now, I've gotten more braver for some reason, and I think the pandemic helped. And then just the things I've been through in my life, I decided, why not go for it? I was terrible on the computer, but I have a 24-year-old son that helped me and I had classmates that helped me. They turned everything around, and I got through it. And when I got that certificate, I was so proud of myself because I know I can do it. So I know that anyone else listening to us can do it, because that was a struggle for me. I wasn't doing my homework at first or nothing because I was intimidated by the computer. Because I was also intimidated in high school with the typewriter. I was
Mhm.
terrible at typing, so that was in my mind mentally, and that was a coaching thing that some people had to coach me through. So I was
Right.
getting coached while I was learning to coach more. I
Yeah.
was getting coached also because that way so I just put out my vulnerabilities and my shortcomings that I felt were shortcomings. I would cry sometime when I'm doing my work with them because we did it in groups, and they would say, "Joy, we're gonna help you. You're gonna do this.
Mhm.
We're not gonna let you slip through the cracks." So I'm that kind of person too, and I didn't realize I needed somebody to stand in the gap for me like that. So I went on and I just started going. I just started getting it and just giving myself grace. Start feeling so intimidated by the technology, and now I'm doing okay. I do enough to navigate to do what I need. I'm not clicky and perfect, but you can do it. Your mind can do it. Just go for it. If it's something you really want, and if you feel it's a purpose or calling, that's going to turn into your passion. So just go for it. And just get help from people. The person you don't know, someone else does know, and ask for help. It's all right.
Yes. And it
That's
is.
what I
It
had to
is.
do.
It's all right to
It
ask
is
for
all
help.
right to do. It's all right to ask for help. I don't have to do everything. I was always so super independent because I thought I was so used to people. If some people you ask and they rub it in your face, well, I did this for you and that. So I hated that. So I'd rather just figure it out myself. That's
Mhm.
why I've been my own coach for years, personally,
Yeah.
outside of my parents.
It is unfortunate you do have those situations where when you do reach out, you're faced with negativity. But if it's something you really want to do and you really feel like it's your passion, you have to muster that strength to move past that instance to get to that person who's
Hmm.
going to actually help you and they're going to be positive in that help.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because
Yes, and
there
I'm
are,
really I'm really good at. I was always really good at my vulnerability, but that took me. I had to take my vulnerability to the very max in order to be a coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because how dare I not go all the way with my vulnerability, just go all in, and that's what I'm going to be helping my clients do. So that was my thing, to ask for help. So now I'm comfortable with that. I'll say, hey, do you know how to do this? Just ask. Oh, I always call Customs. I always ask her for things because she just helps me. So and I help her. So I'm not afraid to ask because it just made me stretch myself and just go all the way into being vulnerable. So I've made vulnerability my superpower now. And that's what I
Yes.
try to help my clients do. I'm okay with my story, any parts of it. None of it, nothing about my life do I hide, or
Yes.
I do not have any regrets either.
Right. And it's all about
That's
building
my
that
life.
network, building that community that you can
Mm-hmm.
go to for help, that you can be vulnerable with, that you know
Mm-hmm.
has your back. And sometimes that may not be the people that you know you share the same blood with. Sometimes you really have to step out of your comfort
Mm-hmm.
zone and get in those circles. And when you are
Yes.
really walking in your purpose, your
Mm-hmm.
circle may change. You may get to the top of that roller coaster with all the friends you thought were going to be great, and some of them might fall off, and you
A
get a
lot.
new group while you on there.
A
And that
lot.
is okay. Don't
Yes.
hang on to things that are not beneficial for you.
It's like people come in seasons and they're friends. It don't mean you don't like them or nothing, but you're trying to go somewhere else and you don't need someone holding your feet as you're trying to climb. You don't
Mm.
need someone holding your feet to keep you pulled down. So I had to I moved out of my city I lived in for a lot of that because I was some people, it's like you have some pigeon holders.
Yes.
And I would just and then not for anything, they just love you so much and they want to keep you grounded with them,
Mm-hmm.
keep you with them. But I wanted to go higher. So I wanted to go somewhere else where a lot of people didn't know me and just start over. So
Yes.
you have to do that. And as you climb, it's long, they say it can be lonely at the top, but you're never alone. You know that. So, and you
Right.
just get new people as you go up there. You start flying with the eagles more, you
No.
know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so before, we wrap up, and I really feel like we could just keep going because this vibe is just
Mhm.
woo.
We
But
can do some more later another time.
yeah, but
We'll come back another.
I would love for you to let everyone know where they can find you and maybe book your services and everything like that. Because I know, but I would love for my wolf pack to also know.
Yes. You can reach me if you guys are on IG. I'm under Joyful Connections Life Coaching. I know it's a long word, but once you start putting the first alphabets in, it'll pop up. And then you can get in my DMs. I'm going to be launching my website soon because I had Karma Paradise do it. So I'm just working out some kinks and getting my links all together, but you'll be able to just do a click. But otherwise, if you want to get in there now, you just get in my DMs. And what I'll do is get your email and I'll send you my Calendly schedule where you can pick the times you want, and then I can send you my agreements and everything. I offer to see if we're a good fit for each other. You get a chance to get a complimentary discovery call, and you can do that. It's like a half an hour call, 15 minutes or half an hour, however long you need, to just tell me what your issues are and your concerns and what you want different for your life and what you don't like, and we can do that. And you can see if we will be a good fit for each other, and then we can go from there. You can do single sessions. And my single sessions go to you're like 125, or you can do group set. I mean, not a group. You can do a group new package. I can make you like maybe 3 sessions, and I'll fray the cost on that. Or either I'm thinking about having a shop pay on my thing where people, if they want to do the packages, I'll offer that for that, where they can kind of do breaking in increments. But
Okay.
it's a really well spent dollar, and it's nothing like being investing in yourself.
Yes.
It's just like we invest in anything else. It's like when you invest in yourself to become something better. And I'm very dedicated into what I'm doing. This is like my calling. This is just my thing that I do it because I love seeing other people thrive, and I love seeing people's life transform. I love them seeing their lives be something that they didn't even imagine it could be. And I'm just coming from a very real place. I love what I do. Before I even start talking to anyone, I have prayer first, because that way it's not me. I move myself out the way so that the spirit can come through and just help me lead to how I'm supposed to help you, her client. So I'm really into my faith, and that's how I can show up as I show up to my clients and for myself.
Yes, no, I really love that. And I love the sense, honestly, of the vulnerability that you put out there, even for your clientele, because you let them know I'm human. I'm going through similar
Hmm.
things you're going through.
Hmm.
And it allows them to really connect with you. And it allows you
Hmm.
to actually be able to connect with what they're needing from you instead of
I
it being
really
like
do.
this wall up because
Yeah.
you're coming in like, oh no, I'm perfect and I want you to be
Yeah.
perfect like me. Like it's not
Yes.
that. And oh my God, I love that.
It's exactly that. It's exactly. I was without an income for a year and a half, because I was waiting for, I'm on disability and everything because my back is damaged. I have a condition in my lower back that got damaged from, I fell down some stairs and then I was doing here. So it's like, I'm like everybody else. I have financial things and issues like everybody else do, but I know that I'm going to come through them and I'm coming through them. And I have come through a lot of them.
Yeah.
So once you know you're overcomer, that's just what I like to project on my clients. They're overcomers also, and we're going to all overcome together. So that's just where I am with it. I
Yeah.
don't have a perfect life, but I have a perfect life because God touched me to wake up this morning. So it's a perfect life,
All
you know?
right. Yes.
hmm
Oh my gosh.
That's how I
So,
feel.
yes. Ooh. So, guys, make sure you are in tune with Joy. I'm going to make sure all of her information is on the screen and in the description box down below. If you are in need of any services or you know of anyone who can benefit from her services, make sure you spread the word out, get the information to that person. And she does those discovery calls that really will help them see if it's a good fit. And I'm pretty sure if she is not a best fit for you, maybe there's someone she can refer you to that may be a better fit.
hmm
But let's take the time to really heal ourselves from the inside out.
Yes.
That's the only way we're going to grow. And that is the only way that we're going to actually be able to get the most out of life. And you have to get you together before you can do anything else. Um,
hmm
and it starts from you taking that step to identify, okay, I need help. I need to work on me. And maybe I need someone to help me do that.
hmm And
Yes.
that's perfect. That's exactly what it is.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that.
hmm
So
hmm
I feel like
Yes.
just, and we're not even like having a session, we're just talking, but I feel like so calm right now. So
It's,
guys, I'm
hmm
serious. Like it's very calming talking to her. I feel so
it's I've always been this way. Prices are like 16. It's just a gift. And it's like I don't own it. I don't even claim it. It's not nothing that I do. It's just something God gave me. It's like even strangers. I don't know. People just talk. Now there's some, like I said, there's some situations where they need a therapist.
calm.
And so some people, when I start with them, they may need a therapist after we're getting started. So I had people refer them to, or they can find one, and then they can come back and we put those puzzle pieces back together and put their life back together and redesign their future and everything, redesign their life. And that's what we can do. So it's really great. It's really great
Yeah.
to do. And I'm really about my community. I don't know, I'm in this thing. I just want everybody to heal right now. We're so royal and we just need to really start stepping into that and just be a healed community and get it now, even if we didn't get it before.
Yes, that is so true. I think we all need to really focus on healing. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we really need to admit that we do need to heal.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, guys, but make sure, like I say, you reach out to her, get that discovery call in. There's nothing wrong with getting that call in and seeing what your options are, seeing
Mm-hmm.
what things can be available to you to help you get to that next level. You never know. You may have a completely different mindset after just a discovery call that will give you that additional courage you need to make that next step. So,
Yes.
like I said, guys, her information will be in the description box. Make sure you share it. Follow her on her social media. Even if for right now, you're just being able to look at some of the tips that she gives on her social media, even if that will
Mm-hmm.
help you. And just like
Mm-hmm.
it so that she knows that this information is helpful for someone. So she knows the
Mm-hmm.
information and trying to keep going. So I sincerely
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you
Yes,
so
thank
much,
you.
Joy, for stopping by.
Thank you. You're
And
welcome. Thank you for having me here. And thank you for everyone who's listening. Thank you for your time, for doing that. I really appreciate time is very important. So I really appreciate anybody's time that will take even a minute to listen. So thank you so much.
thank
I
you.
really appreciate that.
Yeah, so guys, make sure you, like I said, share this video out with anyone you think it could benefit from this video and her services. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will catch you all next week for another Boss Chat in the Den. Peace.